Pelicans have won 2 in a row, 136-104 over the Sacramento Kings. Before we get into the podcast, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And also, this podcast is sponsored by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boo Crew Media, located at 918 Porter Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413. If you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Crew Media, also presented to you by Company Burger, located at 4600 Ferret Street and DraftKings Sportsbook. Chaz, first off, I got to start the show off with Trey Murphy. And I'll start with you first, Chaz, because tonight I felt like was finally that. I know he had a great night last night against the Lakers, but tonight felt like finally he had a complete game. You saw everything. You saw pump fake triple drives. You saw threes. You saw dunks. You saw him being aggressive and attacking and shooting contested shots. And I think one of your tweets, what it might have been last night, was that, hey, you're glad to see Trey take these contested shots because he's that good of a shooter.
Yeah, make or miss. I'm like, you're 6'10". I think for Trey, every shot should be a good shot when you're that type of shooter. Just take them, bro. Like, just take the shots. And last night he missed one, but I was so encouraged to see him take that shot. And tonight, nice dribble drives, nice move, attacking the rim aggressively. Knock down big shot after big shot. It was really good to see.
You back to your contested point, because I think why you're happy about it is because he's not scared to take that shot. He's confident in that shot, and that's what it looked tonight. Ross, he looked like who we've been wanting to see for a long time.
I think the thing I liked most was, and I'm sure I'm wrong on this, but it felt like tonight there was a point, I think it was beginning of the third quarter, where we ran a play that was designed to get Trey a three. Move the ball around. Trey, I believe, runs the baseline. We set a down screen for him. He comes off. Whoever was guarding him goes over the top. We hit it. He kind of steps in. So the guy goes over the top. He comes underneath. We get it to him in the corner, catch, shoot three. It was something that you see that the Warriors have done for Klay Thompson for a decade now. And it just felt like the first time, like, damn, that, like, we just ran a play to get him an open three. We got the open three, caught, shot, ran the baseline. So, I mean, that's, we've all wanted to see more from Trey. Part of that, again, I think fell on the coaching staff of, like, run some stuff for him. It doesn't all have to be, hey, go stand out here by yourself and wait for BI or CJ or drive and kick situation or a collapse thing. Like, run some stuff for him, get him more involved. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, Chaz, another guy, I'm going to ask you a question here. Is this team better with Larry Nance at the 5?
Nah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Man, it's something I really want to say, but I'm not even gonna say it. But I'm gonna say no. I don't think this team's better than with Larry at the 5. I think JV is matchup dependent, but I think historically he's always played Sabonis very well. Again, it's like it's a 1 game sample size. So
Look, I do want to. This is a good lead in, and so I do want to just mention. So I've been saying for a while that this felt like a game we would win. We obviously ended up winning last night, break the streak and everything. The Kings don't feel like a great matchup for us right now for a couple different reasons, but I just want to kind of go back to the whole like the Western Conference is not good. Like, and I'm trying not to sound like a Debbie Downer or like a pessimist or a guy who's naysaying or whatever. Like, I'm glad we won yesterday. I'm very glad we won today. We needed to get back on the right track. Everything else, these 2 games didn't necessarily change anything for me about the Pelicans. It more hammered home that, like, the Lakers stink. They stink. And I mean that in like the literal sense of the word. Like, they are not good. The Kings, I'll give the Kings a break because De'Aaron Fox has played unbelievable this year and he was out today. They're not good either. Like those, like they're not.
We're without Brandon Zion.
I know, but that's what exactly. And we just punish them. Like, the Kings to me are the epitome of a pretender. Like, that's a team that's going to get walloped in the first round of the playoffs. Swept.
Yeah, they get
and it
clobbered.
just in the Western Conference is it's just one of the reasons, right, for the last few weeks while we've been talking about like make a move, like
Well,
go
that's what I
get
was
someone
saying,
else because
Ross.
it's
Then
just wide open. These teams are not good, man. They're not good.
right, right, and that's what I was about to come in and say is because okay, you're saying the West sucks. Well, this is a perfect opportunity, right, to take that home run swing. The Mavericks think they did, right, Chaz, with Kyrie. I don't really see that work. I mean, offensively they're going to be special, but defensively they're not going to stop anybody. But Chaz, you were extremely happy that Kyrie didn't go to the Lakers.
Yeah, anyone but the Lakers, because truthfully, I think the Pels got a chance this season if everything falls right, but next season, in my opinion, this off season is when I think you even have even more of an opportunity to take a big swing because you'll have more expiring salary if you don't do anything significant this off season. But I look at those Lakers picks and for a while, and we're not in the clear yet, but it's starting to look. It was looking like maybe there won't be a swap. Maybe we'll prefer our own pick. And I personally think Kyrie, LeBron, even at 38 playing back-to-backs, man, that's impressive. 38 playing back-to-backs. Who would have diving in the crowd? I think Lakers, AD, LeBron, Kyrie, and Anthony Davis. I think that's a second round team. I can't lie. So I'm happy that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm probably happier he didn't go to the Clippers. That felt like there were a few teams that for me it's like I don't think like he does anything for the Mavs in my personal opinion. Like I don't think they're any better or worse than they were yesterday. The net effect of Finney Smith and Dinwiddie for Kyrie, like I won't go there. I could feel like I can make a somewhat compelling argument that they're worse, but the Clippers would have been much scarier situation for me.
Yeah, they'd have been terrifying.
Yeah.
Even Phoenix. Even Phoenix would have been scary to me. Kyrie, Booker, and Mikal Bridges and Ayton.
They offered Chris Paul and
Jay Crowder
Crowder for
the West. Look, the West is it's open. I mean, it's still. I mean, it's still very much there for the taking. We're 2 games out of third. I mean, it just takes a little run here. Just get it, keep it in neutral until the All-Star break, get Zion back, and I still think we need to be active in the trade market.
Oh yes. Speaking of, excuse me. Speaking of going in the right direction, Billy Hernan-Gomez 22.16 rebounds tonight. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. Jeez, he played his ass off, and Trey looked great. I thought CJ was good, but Ross will start with you, Najee Marshall. Najee, I thought I think he had like 9 points in the first 3 minutes.
Well, yeah, he started on fire.
I mean, he was unbelievable. But Ross, it's such a luxury to tweet this out, but to have that dude you can just plug him in and you don't miss a beat. And I think he's averaging as a starter 18 points a game.
Yeah, he's sort of universally for us, I think, been the one guy that we can all say has improved his game from last year to this year, right? I mean, I think he had a little patch there where 1, he probably got tired. 2, he was being asked to do too much while guys were out. I think now you're seeing him, even though Zion and BI were out today and JV, I think you're seeing him sort of get his feet back under him. And BI's been back, so he's been coming off the bench a little bit. Just getting back into a role that he's comfortable with. And so you saw tonight him play better. But that's how role players are. They're going to play better at home. They're going to play better when less is expected of them. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy to see guys start to play a little better once you get home. It's like the old adage, right? You just got to see one go in. Sometimes you just got to win a damn game to get a little confidence back in the building. I mean, everybody plays a little better when you can win one.
Yeah, it was an important weekend to sweep. But Chaz, they gotta. I feel like they gotta be aggressive here. Who do you? I want to talk. I saw a report tonight saying Pascal and OG, right? They're listening to offers. What do you think it takes to land those two? Or I'm sorry, we proposed a trade. It was Pascal and Gary
Trent.
Gary Trent.
For Gary Trent, I don't know Pascal's salary, but I'm just gonna assume that it's like everything is like maybe 38 million, something like that.
Yeah.
It would probably take Brandon, JV, and maybe one pick. If I'm giving Brandon and JV, I probably wouldn't give him a pick because I know they need a center and I know OG is not happy.
So for those two, right? Do you think for an OG and Gary Trent package they have to give up Brandon? No way,
No.
right?
No.
Okay. So they're only going to.
I wouldn't in that situation.
No, absolutely not. But I mean, I've been tough on Brandon, but Ross, I mean, you dropped 35 the other night. I know he didn't play tonight, but he looked really good against the Lakers. You're when you hear Pascal and OG and Gary Trent, all these guys that can help you, right? You're enticed by that, but would you ever think about trading Brandon at the trade deadline?
No,
And
not
if
at the
so,
trade
who?
deadline.
And if so, okay.
I would not. I don't. I could just because I don't think you need to. Like if you want to entertain, if you want to see how the rest of the year goes and entertain trading Brandon this offseason, I think that is a possible. Not only do I think it's viable, I think it's a very real possibility that they're going to take a look at the roster this offseason, depending on what happens, right? You make a run to the Western Conference Finals, I don't know if they're going to do anything. But in terms of improving the roster now, even for guys like OG and Pascal, like I don't think you need to do that. I really don't. Like I think they've got enough to put together an offer for any team like that would be enticing. Now, if you start, if it's multiple players at that level, if it was OG and Pascal or Trent or whatever, yeah, you probably have to. I think they can bring in a really good player without having to get rid of any of the core guys. I truly believe that. I think there's enough in the tank from a picks and interesting young player perspective to satisfy a team's needs.
Do you agree with that, Chaz?
Yeah, I think if it isn't Bam or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, those are Luka, people like that. There's only about 4 or 5 guys who I would trade Brandon for at the deadline. Shea, Bam, Luka, Giannis, of course, Joel Embiid. In the offseason, that list gets a little longer because then it depends on if Brandon turns down his extension, what packages are available. But right now, I don't even think he's at his max value personally, because he hasn't played.
And to be honest, I'm not getting off Brandon. I just like to see him play more. But when he's in that kind of groove like he was against the Lakers, man, he's one of the best scorers in this league. And you would just think that him and Zion and CJ can work, but you just never see it. And it's frustrating. So I think we get a Zion update the 7th, right?
I think that's right. And we don't get I don't think we have another back-to-back until like mid-March or something. So
thank God.
You should, in theory, fingers crossed, we should get into a better groove with guys playing consistently. Hopefully Zion comes back relatively soon. And maybe able to get on a little run here, but either way, these were 2 big ones.
I think you're at a point personally where I don't even care if I learned anything from the wins no more. Like these last 2 games, I didn't learn anything from these. Like there's nothing to take away from these. But just win. So you at least can, and personally, I think tonight, I thought it was a good victory because I think Fox is playing like MVP caliber basketball. Zion's out, JV's out, and Brandon's out. I think tonight and last night were good wins. I think the Lakers are a better team than the Pelicans right now without Zion. But
I think the Lakers. I think Lakers are genuinely a terrible team. I do.
Man, you must think the Pelicans are the worst team known to man. Because
we just lost 10 straight.
Yeah, we did lost 2 straight. But that's why I can't take too much from these 2 games because I'm like I have to discount.
I told you. I just told you what I took. What I just took from these 2 games. I think the Western Conference stinks.
Oh yeah. But
and Curry's out. And Curry's out for weeks.
And Curry just went out for weeks now.
I think the Lakers played them 3 times without Steph.
Like, are you scared? Are you scared of the Nuggets? Like, if we got on a 7-game series with the Nuggets and we're fully healthy,
they beat it. It's hard. We lose that series. I've been saying for a while.
With this team as currently constructed,
don't forget that with a healthy Zion Williamson, this team.
That's irrelevant. with this team as currently constructed.
I thought no, I would think they would make some moves, and then
Oh, then we don't know who the moves are. Like,
I mean, I'm not like, but like, hold on, Chaz. I'm not saying like, yeah, if we, I'm not saying a huge splash, but we get like a Doug McDermott. I still think like,
oh,
we just
Doug
need a shooter.
McDermott. Oh, Doug McDermott.
Like a minimal move, fully healthy. I think we would beat the Nuggets.
I want to back up and give you a hypothetical. What do you think happens against the Nuggets without Doug McDermott, and what do you think happens with him? If you think the result of those two things are drastically different, I'm leaving the chat. I'm leaving right now. I'm serious. I'm exiting. Like if you think Doug McDermott is a difference maker in a playoff game, that would say baby. If you think it's like 6 games versus us winning the series or something, I'm gonna leave.
Ross, Ross, let me ask you this. If we played the Nuggets in a 7-game series, what would the series result be?
I think it's probably something similar to the Suns last year. We lose in 5 or we lose in 6.
I think it
depends. But we lose.
I'm just shocked that you're literally forgetting what Zion Williamson was doing.
But you're talking about for us, the Nuggets are going to finish as not probably. They're going to be the 1 seed. So you're talking about a conference finals ish type situation. Maybe a second round series or something like that. I've said all along. I mean, if we go win a first, like we got to win a playoff series before I can say like, oh yeah, we're ready. Like we're ready to go deep. We got to win one
first.
Fair.
That's fair.
The only way you beat the Nuggets, I think, is you got to hit threes, and I think Doug and
if Trey's on play like he's been playing the last 2 nights.
Yeah, I remember the last time Trey hit, went 8 for 8, and then I didn't see him for a few months. But yeah, if Trey plays like he played tonight, and you get a Doug McDermott, and has the best Doug McDermott of his career ever in history, then I think you can win in 7. I think you can win in 7. I'll give you that.
I don't know, man.
No, Jokic is good though. Murray is really good. Aaron Gordon is good.
We don't even have a half answer for Jokic.
If we can defend, if we can run guys off the line, I would feel more comfortable.
But we have less than everybody else.
You know what? Larry Nance did a really good job on him. I'm just saying he did. I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying.
Hey, Jackson Hayes did real good on him last year. So
look, if we get to that point, hey, then that's I'll take it. If we're playing them in the Western Conference Finals, then and we lose in 6, well, that to me is a wildly successful season for us that we can build upon.
Y'all know who also closes at the 5 sometimes? OG, 3-and-D guy, closes at the 5 sometime. Real strong guy.
I was just saying, hey, look, ask me this question after the All-Star break, and I may have a different answer for you.
Chaz, do you think OG, if you just get OG, do you think I don't know, like the package, right? Just say for maybe a Herb, Dyson, Picks, Devontae, whatever, like those group of players, you get an OG. Does he make this team that much better?
If it's
is OG I'm talking about to a championship contender almost.
I think if healthy, I think if you replace Herb and Trey with a guy who provides a little more offensive versatility as far as
Trey's in this package too?
No, I'm talking about maybe Trey gets a few less minutes.
Okay.
If he's struggling defensively,
Okay.
But I think OG alone, I don't think OG does it for you. I think you got to have OG and another self-creator and or a rim defending big. I think if you can't get OG, the perfect package for this team when healthy would be Nash Reed and Gary Trent Jr. When healthy, that is.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said this in the jump. I like OG as a player. I think he's good. I think he fits certain skills, like a certain box. I don't know how much he raises the ceiling. I really don't. I think he raises it a little bit, like a little bit. But I don't. He raises it a little bit. Which is why I've said from the jump, I think emptying the tank for OG is not a good idea. If you can get OG at a reasonable price, I'm here for it. I think if you have to start giving up 2 and 3 first-round picks for OG, count me out. Count me out for that. I would rather say
would you
I would
do
rather
one
say that
and
for a
one
home run.
lottery protected pick, one and one, or maybe one in the swap?
Maybe Chaz, for me, it continues to go back to I just would rather if it precludes me from taking a home run swing. We just talked about Kyrie. In theory, Durant could walk in there tomorrow and say, "I'm tired of dealing with the BS. I know I kind of did a little half trade me this offseason, but now I'm telling you I ain't playing again until you make a trade."
In this offseason, you're saying that?
Yeah, I'm saying you want to be able to have the whole kit and caboodle to walk to somebody to make a home run championship type move this offseason, in my opinion. If trading for OG right now in some way you convince yourself that that gives us a little less to put on the table this offseason, count me out, because I want to put all the chips on this offseason.
Yeah, you provided a great point just now, Ross, and I want to echo that. But I also will say this: if you go into this offseason, right, would you rather have, if you acquire OG now and you go into this offseason and Kevin Durant yo, I want out, right? Would you rather have, if you want to keep Brandon, right? Would you rather have OG to trade or some random pick 18, 16, whatever? I would want to trade the known asset who I can say, hey, everybody wants this guy, Brooklyn. What you want to do? I would rather have that guy versus, a couple of late picks, because you just never know what the Lakers going to do.
In theory, I agree with you. But I feel like in practice, we've now seen that picks out into the future are valuable no matter what, right? When we did this Laker deal, they were bringing in Anthony Davis. They then come and win a championship the next year. None of us were sitting here saying, man, hey,
lottery team,
man, these Lakers picks next year, valuable. And so I think there's a certain value that's placed upon those picks that are out into the future. It's the unknown, right? Like you're saying, I would want to have the known quantity in OG versus the unknown of the picks. I think in a lot of cases, those unknowns are more valuable. But look, you're making a good point. And for me, it's about how many picks do you have to give up to get OG? Yeah. If you're able to then turn around this summer and say, I've got OG and I still have all these picks to offer to somebody, that to me is better than saying, I have Herb and Dyson and all these picks. So I think if you're able to sort of upgrade what you think the offer could be, I'm here for that. It's really for me about what do you have to give up to get OG?
I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know the answer to that.
I think if someone has offered 3 picks for him already, he'd be gone.
I think so too.
That
seems asinine to me.
Yeah, he'd be
That's
gone.
asinine.
I think if you move in Devontae and salary, it's probably 1 pick for a person to take Devontae, maybe a protected pick, and an unprotected pick for OG. Because and the reason I say that is because this offseason, Devontae becomes an asset. So half the season is over already. So he's probably entering asset territory already. You still got Garrett Temple, who's pretty much an expiring. You got, and it's funny because you can probably get OG, right, with Jonas and salary, and you'd still have Devontae's salary to move. There's so many. I'm really interested in how Kyrie has changed the trade market. Yeah. He's a distressed asset. And I think it's very important for people to realize distressed assets are available because they're distressed. If they were like perfect players in perfect situations, you probably wouldn't be able to get them. So a guy like Naz Reid, Gary Trent Jr., OG, I know Siakam has about 2 years left on his contract. I'm like, these guys are available because that team isn't doing very well. I would just love to see Griff. It just seems like there's so many moves you can make right now, and you would still be in prime position this offseason if it didn't work out to pivot and do something else.
So you're saying it's almost impossible to mess this up here?
No.
It's very possible.
It's very
possible.
I mean, it's very possible. I'm sorry.
I think go and give up 3. I think go and give up 3 picks for OG Anunoby is a disaster.
I think that's
an absolute disaster.
I think that's a bad absolutely move. Not. I mean, especially with the Kevin Durant stuff, and you don't know who's going to be available now. There's a lot of different options. Right?
Kevin Love just got kicked out of the rotation.
So
not that anyone wants Kevin Love.
But another guy we didn't mention though, and we'll wrap it up with him, is John Collins, because Chaz, we got on here before the show, and you were saying, John Collins. No, Chris is he's out of his mind right now, and John Collins would be really good for this team, Chaz. But once again, you're not going to overpay for him.
I think with John Collins, man, you get John Collins, it better be damn near for free. Because I like John Collins, right? I do like John Collins, but what up, Chris? I just don't see JC as a guy who propels you into contention, and it kind of starts that luxury tax clock pretty fast, because not only would you have to get him, you would have to move off of Jonas as well, just to kind of avoid the tax. And you would have, if I knew that this team would, and not only that, it's going to be real difficult to move John Collins this offseason because he has so many years left. And that's the thing. That's why Devontae's contract was viewed as a negative asset, not just because of the salary, it was because he had so many years left at one time. Like that extra year can really kill you. But man, you get John Collins. I'm presuming that you blowing this thing up this offseason.
My problem with John Collins, Justin, is I could see us trade for. Well, here's my scenario that I want you to talk me out of. I could see us if we traded for John Collins. Let's just say John Collins was on this roster today and everything was healthy. Mm-hmm. I could see him not being in our closing unit regularly. Like I could see the team saying Larry Nance is a markedly better defender, better connector, a better connector.
Larry's been,
I could see the team. I could see us trading for John Collins and him
interesting
being similar to what he is in Atlanta. Like I look at John Collins and I don't say like that's the piece, that's the guy that takes it. Like he just isn't that guy. Like is he a talented player that might help us win some regular season games and might fill in some gaps whenever guys get hurt? Absolutely. Fully healthy, I don't know how much John Collins helps us. That is my opinion of him.
I'll say this, and it goes back to the OG point, and I'll just the last thing I'll say. Sometimes it's kind of like using the stock market as your bank. If you get a couple bucks here and there on those shares, it's cool. It's 9 times out of 10 it's going to be more than what you get on from the bank. But you can also lose your money. So that's why I kind of feel like if there's no big home run move to be made, go get OG, right? Preserve some of that asset value. Go get OG, go get a Gary Trent, Naz Reid, what have you. And that way, if a guy does something that's cost effective, if a guy becomes available, it doesn't hurt you with opportunity costs. You can still say, well, I still got 4 or 5 picks or whatever. You're not going to there's no way you're giving up 6 picks for Kevin Durant this offseason. Like, that's just not going to happen. But I still got 4 picks or 3 picks in a swap for Kevin Durant. Still got some young, promising players. And I'm ready to deal. And
so it's kind of trending like both of y'all are waiting for your home run move in the offseason.
Oh, yeah, that's why I've been this whole time, though. Yeah, like, it just makes the most sense.
But like Ross, I mean, you talk about the West being gettable, but then you also talk about in the offseason. So there's this weird balance of like, well, then what the hell do you do?
When I say the West is gettable, when I say the West is gettable,
everyone's gonna be pissed off if you keep the roster the same.
I'll be furious.
Yeah, I will too. It's more of raising the ceiling to a champion. Even with the West weak, I don't think we're a champion right now. Like we're just not. We're not ready to do that. No. But we can make moves that make us better today without hamstringing us this offseason. Like those two things aren't mutually exclusive. You can do both, and you just got to thread the needle.
Listen, these next Chaz? How many days till the deadline? Is it?
Today's the what? Today's the 5th, so about 3.
This is gonna be kind of
You,
crazy.
you can't wait till the 9th, though. You can't wait till the last hour. You gotta do this on like the 7th or something like this, bro. Like, just come on, like,
I want to be a
'cause-
first. Yeah, you want to be a first mover.
do
No, that's
do
yeah,
the
do the
deal,
thing.
and then something else could become available last minute,
Exactly.
and then you come and you get some extra. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just don't wait till
If you're gonna do anything that's gonna be useful, like if you're for a bigger player, it's gonna have to happen early.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna overpay.
See, I can be nice over here, man.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Are you ready for the biggest Sunday in sports? DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action you need. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. Ross, Chaz, good weekend. It was a good weekend. Now things are going to get a little bit shooken up here. So it's going to be very interesting for the next couple of days. I have no idea when our next game is. It might be Tuesday, but we'll be here with you. If any breaking news, we will be on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see y'all later.